Hi, everybody. It's Howard, the Condo Man, and today is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to talk about condos and houses. Contrary to popular belief, I've lived in both, and both lifestyles are quite different. So let me start with condos first. The beauty of condos. First of all, you can pretty much live in a condo anywhere. You can be across the street from Sherway Gardens. You can be connected to the subway through underground. You can walk to your office. You can be connected to your office in some cases. You can be anywhere you choose. Houses, not as much. So, first benefit of condos is the location can be very specific to your needs. Next thing, and what I kind of value about a condo, is that it's sort of community living. If you're in a big enough condo building that has interesting enough facilities, you can do all kinds of things together with the residents. So, for example, I like ping pong. If there's a ping pong table, which I haven't had in the last four condo buildings, you could have tournaments with the other residents. You can play with the other residents as opposed to having a ping pong table in your house where your options are very limited in terms of who to play with. Same thing with the gym. I prefer to have people around me in the gym. In the house, I mean, you can invite your friends over. You can work out together. You can work out with your partner or your spouse, but it's not kind of the same. So that's another benefit of condos is the community feel. Um, as part of that community feel, you also get amenities. You know, you might get a pool in a condo. It's unlikely you'll have an indoor pool in your house. Um, Lots of amenities that you can see in a condo, especially in the high-end ones. You can, or in the larger ones, you can get a bowling alley. You know, you can get a tennis court. Just some things that are less likely in a house, especially in the GTA. Those are really the big benefits of condos. What are the negatives of condos and positives of a house? Well, a condo can be a bit less efficient in your lifestyle. So, for example, you have to park in the underground, you need to take an elevator up, sometimes 40 floors, you have to wait for elevators. That can be a negative. I mean, I kind of got used to it and I built it into my lifestyle. So, for example, when I lived at Maple Leaf Square, I lived on the 52nd floor and the elevator ride was sometimes 5 minutes. However, I had reception on my phone, so I would just ignore the time. I would ignore whatever the issues were, and I would just text and email the whole time in the elevator. So you find your workarounds to make that time useful. At least you try to. But that's one big positive of a house. You park the car, you walk in the front door. It's simple and efficient. The other thing about a house is space, depending on price, but obviously on a price per square foot basis, you're going to get more in a house than you will in a condo. So you can have this big living space and a big master bedroom, which um, you don't get in a condo unless you pay a high price. Obviously, in a house, you're not paying maintenance fees, which I could have mentioned when I was talking about condos. So, you sometimes pay these high maintenance fees if it's a big condo because you pay per square foot. However, if something breaks in a house, you're paying for it. So, oftentimes that could be worse than paying condo fees. So, one of my good friends recently, his air conditioner broke in the middle or in the start of summer and they were burning hot. It's not like he had a lot of money saved up for this. It was over $10,000, and he had to pay it in one shot. So there's kind of a pro and con to condominium fees. Also, the condominium corporation maintains the structure, maintains the roof, maintains um, the actual central air conditioning system in the building. I don't mean in your specific unit. So a lot of things are maintained for you, and you don't have to deal with them. I lived in condos where we had supers that would help with just about anything, which I found to be of great benefit since I'm not handy whatsoever. And that's the other thing in a house. If you're not handy, especially an older house, there's lots of little things that need fixing that you're going to be the one to fix. Um, I think one of the big positives with houses, and almost a necessity, is once you have kids, and I don't have kids yet, um, especially over the age of 5, they need to run around outside. They need to have other kids around them who are in their same age bracket to play with. And until that changes in most condo buildings, it makes condo living with kids much more difficult. So kids need friends, kids need space, and kids also need to be closer to good schools. So I can say now there's a lot of condo buildings where there are schools close by because the city has developed that infrastructure or started to, or at least a school bus. But the biggest thing that I think parents don't realize is friends. Kids need friends. You know, when they go to the park, they want to have other kids there. You know, you want to have a basketball court in front of your house, or in front of your neighbor's house so your kids can play. You want to play hockey on the streets. At least that's how I grew up. So to me, that's one of the biggest benefits of a house when you have kids. So you have other kids around you, and you have areas that are just conducive to a childhood. I would say those are the biggest pros and cons. To houses and condos. If you can get a newer house, it alleviates part of that maintenance issue. So you're not going to have to fix things all the time, I hope, especially if it's under warranty. But over, the longer term, you're going to have to go back to fixing things anyways. Yeah, so if to me personally, if you're a couple or if you're single and you don't have kids, I would consider the condo option strongly. If you have kids and especially if they're starting to get to the age of 4 or 5, I think that for now the house option still makes sense until there's tons of kids in condos. I think I think that there's a very logical part to that lifestyle. Not that you can't live in a condo with kids, you can. I just think that it's nice for them to be surrounded by other kids and play areas. Oh well, that's my 2 cents for today. Have a great day, everybody. Cheers.